I always say it, but I'm proud of these guys. You know, it wasn't a pretty game. I thought we had some good stretches where we played some good basketball, and then I just think at times it turned into a grind, right? But we need to play games like that, and to play for first place in the league against a very good team, a well-coached team, a veteran team. I thought our guys did enough to win the game, and there's a lot of this game that we can learn from too, which is great. And we won the games. So, you know, a couple of things that I just thought I thought late in the game we didn't finish it, close it out like we should, so we could learn from that. But also we made enough plays and we executed some plays down the stretch to get the ball in bounds, get it to the right people, made our free throws. And then I thought our rebounding today was the difference. I really do. I think our offensive rebounding and our drawing all those fouls was huge today.
David Teal.
Mike, after the game up in Olean, you said it would be a failure if you didn't learn from that second half. You've subsequently won 5 in a row. Clearly, you've learned something. What is it?
Well, number one is we just got to continue to mature, David. Like every experience we go through, positive or negative, personal experiences, team experiences, moments where you're getting coached hard and getting taught, you got to continue to grow from it. And look, we were in the valley. That going into halftime, we're on the top at St. Bonaventure. Just like today, we made a run. And then that second half, man, we dug the valley and we were deep in there. And I told our guys the way we get out of that is together, and we got to grow and learn. And all this stuff is learning experience if you accept it that way. And it's coach speak too, right? But the reality of it is either that's going to continue to happen, or you got to take ownership in this and get better. And, the one thing around here we talk about, if you walked in our practice facility, there are signs that say 0% complaining. It is what it is. That's what happened. You can complain and moan about it. It's not gonna help us. We can own it, quit complaining about it, and get better. And we've done that. Now it's not perfect, and I don't want these guys to be perfect. Then we can't grow. But I think that was been the biggest thing in the last 5 games. They weren't always the prettiest games, but we're trying to play the right way. We're trying to play for each other, and we're trying to stick to our plan on both sides of the ball. And we've had some success doing it. And even though today was a grind, we just beat the first place team in the league.
And then there was a sequence in the final minute when St. Bonaventure had possession, and Attaway tried to pump fake Corey, get him off his feet for a 3, but he kept his feet and didn't bite, and then forced him into a miss. They're inside the arc. How big was that little defensive sequence? That's
the carryover, David. That's the discipline, the carryover, the discipline that we talk about. And, that scouting report of guarding him and honoring the scouting report and having that discipline late in the game when you're fatigued and there's some adversity, that's huge. Now, he's a warrior. He was playing on one foot today, man. I mean, even that dunk, I don't know where that dunk came from because he wasn't moving like that earlier today. And it just tells you, hey, he's a senior this late in the year. What can I do to help my team win? Big offensive rebound dunk there, but also that defense on Attaway was huge. And discipline in the moment, right? Carry over in the moment, helped us win.
Noah Fleischman.
In the first 8 minutes, St. Bonaventure had 5 offensive rebounds and 6 second chance points. After that, they only had 5 more in offensive rebounds and 4 more second chance points. What was the biggest difference between those first 8 minutes and the rest of the game?
Yeah, I just thought we just focused more on rebounding. I thought Vince rebounded really hard today. I thought Corey and Levi. I just thought even our guards got in there and rebounded. And then how many offensive rebounds? 19 offensive rebounds. I'm not sure we had that many this year. That might be the highest. So, and multiple guys had a bunch, and that's huge. That's extra possessions. And not everybody wants to guard us the way offensively with all the ball screens and the motion and different guys can attack. You get offensive rebounds, they become backbreakers at times. So we got to continue to that. We just talked about they had guys flying in there. We got to put our bodies on people. Our guards got a rotational rebound. And, I thought Bones had a couple late rebounds. I think he had 8 rebounds today, 8 defensive rebounds. So we had different guys getting some rebounds. I think it was huge. Great team rebounding today.
And then heading into halftime today, did the last time you guys played St. Bonaventure creep into the back of your mind, or was it kind of did you think that they learned enough from that was
Yeah, no, I mentioned it. I said, well, hey, we made a run right at the last 2 minutes and a half to build momentum last year, last time we played them. And I said, we just did the same thing. Now, what are we going to do coming out of here? Okay, build on this momentum and one possession at a time. So, we're better. We're better than that game. Still got a ways to go. Still can get a lot better here down the stretch, but there was some signs of maturity there for sure.
And then last thing I have for you is if someone told you before the game that you wouldn't score a field goal in the last 6 minutes of the game, would you think that you guys would be able to pull this one out?
Well, we were driving the ball, so we were drawing fouls. So, yeah, we didn't score, but we had a couple, like Ace had a great drive there. I thought he got fouled. He didn't make it. Haas had a layup. I think he missed it, right? Corey had a putback, missed. Like, we had some great opportunities, just didn't happen. We just didn't hang our heads. And we played good enough defense down the stretch to win the game. And, when your defense shows up night in and night out, you always give yourself a chance. Now, we made our free throws. Bones made his free throws. That helped.
Thank you.
You bet. I owe you an interview, by the way. I know that. I'll get it to you.
Mark Davis.
Hey, Mike, over the last couple of games, you've talked about how winning makes the next one all the more important. What's kind of tonight's win? Can you just talk about how big it feels and just, how big that is to have these important games down the stretch here?
Well, number one, it's fun, right? This is what we sign up for. If you're a coach or a player and you don't love big games, you shouldn't do it either, right? That's the fun of it. That's the fun of coming to VCU, right? And I told the guys, you have a chance to play for first place on national television today. That's why you come to VCU. Now let's go do this. And that's there's got to be enjoyment in it for sure. I'm glad our guys are sticking to the plan. They're getting their reps in practice. They're working on their game. They're doing extra. We've had some growing pains, but we've learned from it. And then, we're going to play games. Now, we're very fortunate. We've been playing games in this crazy pandemic. So we appreciate that. But, we're taking advantage of these games. 6 of our first nine games in the A10 were on the road with a really young team. And for us to handle that the right way and then make these games here late big, I'm really proud of the guys. They're doing it the right way.
Kind of a loaded question here, I guess, but do you feel like your best basketball still has yet to be played with these guys? Oh, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. We could have this game. Look, we won. Man. I'm stoked, man. I'm so proud of these guys. This is great. This is great for Ram Nation. But we could get better. We could foul less. We could rebound better. I think we could do a better job in the press of getting some traps and all that stuff. And then I also think late game we've been doing a pretty good job executing. But today there's some things we're going to show on tape tomorrow to help our team, and that's what we want. Thank you, Mike.
You got it. Thanks.
All right, Sean, go ahead.
Thanks, Chris. Hey, Mike, congrats on the win.
Thanks, man.
Hey, your last 3 games specifically, at Rhode Island, at Dayton, and tonight, how much growth do you feel this team has made?
Tremendous, without a doubt, and in different ways. Young guys stepping up. We lost a player. We've had some injuries, and we've had some guys step up, and they've relished in their role and said, "What I got to do, coach?" Some guys get extra time, right? I think some of the guys have been playing a lot, have been playing pretty well and playing the right way. And, I still think we play frustrated at times because the guys want it so bad. We just got to play the game, right? And that comes with maturity. But, I do think we can get a lot better. I really do. And, will it happen this year? I hope so, right? That'd be great. And that's what we're going to shoot for every day. And, if we execute a little bit better, you might not ask that question today, right? But it's so fair because we didn't execute enough, so we can get better at that. But I just think we're heading in the right direction, and the guys want to get better. But you got to go through it all, man. You got to go through it all. So yeah, we could get a lot better. I really do. I really think so.
And to go back to a question that Noah asked, I believe, in regards to rebounding, 19 offensive rebounds for you. Is this a game where you can kind of maybe bottle up and show the guys, look, you know, we talked about rebounding all season long. This is what can happen if you know, I guess stick to the plan or adhere to what we're saying about rebounding, the desire to have it.
Yeah, it's desire. You know, there's technique to it without it, but there's desire, and you know, it's going after the ball. You want guys that have a nose for the ball, and like Vince today, 11 points, 9 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, and he drew 6 fouls. I mean, that's a nose for the ball right there. I mean, that's a hard rocking dude they're playing today. I mean, and you know, some other guys, when our guards, when Bones gets 8 defensive rebounds, that helps the big guys when they're down banging and he flies in there. And you know, Keyshawn and those other guys, I think that's huge. Jameer as a freshman is going to continue to rebound, but when he goes after it, he's getting it. And then Levi and Corey and Haas, you know, Haas can go rebound at a certain. We got to continue to do that, and we got to crash the boards because you get extra possessions on one end, and you know, we've had some tip outs and some kick outs, and it goes to Bones and Vince and knock down a 3 of their backbreakers. And on the other end, you play defense like the way we do, and it's one and done. You know, that messes with your psyche too, and that we need to do that.
Thanks, Mike.
You bet.
Wes, go ahead.
Coach, when you talked about the St. Bonaventure game last time, you said we can learn from it, we can grow from it. If you can compare that to, I mean, even just the past 6 days where you've had 4 or 5 different schedule changes, what is it about this team where they learn to grow at the same time they're so adaptable to whatever the situation may be? Can you draw comparisons between the two? Well,
what I said, Wes, is we're going to have adversity. Either it's going to hit us or we're going to hit adversity. You know, I keep saying we're going to punch it right in the mouth, and we're going to do it together. And because I want us to be aggressive, even when things aren't going well, I want us to be aggressive. Sometimes when you have adversity, you go on your heels, and then you get mental about it. And I don't want that. I learn from it, right? Understand we're in the middle of adversity, but let's punch it right in the nose and go and attack it. So I think we've really learned from the second half of Rhode Island, the second half of St. Bonaventure's. It doesn't mean that we get better overnight, but I think you've seen we've taken some good steps in certain situations in games where other teams made a run. We're in some adversity, some bad calls, some bad fouls. Okay, catch your breath, take a deep breath. All right, let's go back to work. And that just comes with experience. Also comes about talking about it and each individual taking ownership with it. Individual adversity, coaching staff having some adversity where you have a game plan and they're not following it or it's not working. Hey, take a deep breath, figure it out, and you know, either it's going to punch you or you're going to punch back, and we're punching back.
But what is it about this group? Just the unique group of guys that you have. Every year is different, but what is it about this group that is actually flexible and amenable to everything?
Well, Rodney and Robbie and Rodney asked me this just before. What is it about this team? 2 things. I think they're supremely confident in their abilities, right, as a group and as a team. They believe in themselves. They're good players, even though they're young. And they're very competitive. Great example of that is when we do a drill or we're a competition or a scrimmage in practice and it's black versus gold and black loses, they're yelling, let's run it back, coach. I'm trying to get to the next drill. They want to run it back. We have a 5-minute threes, we call it, at the end of practice. You shoot threes for 5 straight minutes, 1 rebound or 1 ball, and you have a score that gives you the green light. If your averages aren't over in the green light area, you don't have the green light. Well, guys, now it's not even about the green light, it's about their PR. They want to get a personal record, and if they're not close, they want to shoot it again. So I'm trying to get these guys out of practice. Sometimes they want to keep going so that they're competitive and they're confident, and I like that. And there's been a lot of VCU teams around here that have that. Now we got to do it and start really taking care of the game, right, and learning the game better. But with those 2 things, you always have a chance.
Thanks.
You bet.
Wayne Epps.
All right. I was wondering, how much you guys work on those sort of late inbounds plays? You guys obviously have some stuff drawn up to kind of keep away a little bit late in the game when they're obviously going to foul you guys. So how much is that something you guys spend time on from week to week?
We put them in. We put them in the summer, right? We put them in the summer because when we're playing a 6-minute game late in the game, and even in the summer, we talk about them, and then we work on in the fall, and then we might not do it every day, but the guys know what they need to do. And yesterday in practice, we did a 6-minute segment of late game scenarios, and three of the scenarios that we worked on yesterday showed up today in the game. And then we know who can pass the ball, who's the best inbounder, who's the second best inbounder, who's the third best inbounders. We know who needs to get the ball where. If it's 1 to 3 seconds, we know what we're running full court. 3 seconds to 6 seconds, we know. Sideline out of bounds in timeline. We need a baseline out of bounds 3 at the buzzer, or sideline out of bounds 3 at the buzzer. Our guys know the plays. Yeah, we work them all the time. We have a lot of fun with it too. But we also have we have the starting group to do that, and we have the backup because you never know what's going to happen. So yeah, we work on that all the time.
How do you assess how Ace and Bones have handled, playing more minutes lately? I believe both Ace and Bones had 37 tonight. Of course, Bones had 40 on Tuesday. How they've handled, playing more minutes and kind of taking on a little bit of a greater load the last 3 games or so.
Yeah, we've had pretty good days off too, though. You know what I mean? Like we don't play till Wednesday, so we could do a good job tomorrow and Sunday of making sure they get rest. Players got to play. We want to win and we need them on the court. So it is what it is. But when we could find time today, I thought we found some good minutes for Bones today. I think that helped them to finish strong in the second half. And I thought Ace grabbed a couple minutes there. So we'll continue to do that. And a lot of it comes down to matchups too. And look, I don't want to always have so many young guys out there together. There's times we do, but we got to make sure it's the right time of the game.
And lastly, what does it mean to you at this point to be in first place? Obviously, still a month ago before the A10 tournament, but based on where you guys were picked in the preseason poll, like what does it mean to you at this point to have brought these young guys to first place at this point in the season?
Well, how do you feel about it, Wayne? You watch us more than I do.
Well, my opinion doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, my opinion, look, everybody wrote us off. I get it. We lost all those guys. We had guys transfer, right? All the scoring went and all that stuff. But you know what? You can never count out a young group of people that are committed to each other, a group of coaches that believe in them, and then we're going to work really hard. And, I've been around long enough. I guess I'm getting old. I've coached young teams before. And when you're out on a court, Wayne, nobody's ever walked up at the jump circle and asked the guy how old he is and what grade he's in. They want to know if you could play or not. So we never talked about that. We talked about that we're going to work so darn hard that we're going to give ourselves a chance every time we go out. I don't know any other way, right? That's just me. And all I ever ask these guys is if they could take one part of my personality is don't be afraid to fight. And I don't mean a fist fight. I mean fight for what you want on the court and compete and work really, really hard at it. And I think our guys have done that. Have we been perfect? Have we been emotional? Have we not handled some halves? Oh, absolutely. But that's hey, everybody in the country is dealing that. But you know what? Like, I'm proud of these guys because they think they can win. And they are because they believe in each other. They believe in what we do. They believe in the coaches. Coaches believe in them. It's a great combination. They're a fun group to coach.
Thank you.
All right. We'll get one more from Noah on wrap up.
What does it say about Bones and his work ethic that after scoring 22 and taking first in the Atlantic 10, that he's back on the court right now getting shots?
Yeah, he's hard on himself, right? He thought he missed a couple shots. Did he miss a foul shot today? One? Yeah, he missed a foul shot. That will bother him. So, you see great players do that, right? And you love that. You love that. The next step is that 2 or 3 guys go out there with him after the game, right? We get other guys to do that. But, that's when your best player loves the game the most and is one of the hardest workers or the hardest worker, that's a good sign for your program. And, he wants to play a perfect game because he loves basketball so much. You don't play a perfect game, but he's always trying to get close.
Thank you.
Ben, you don't got any questions today, Ben?
I was just about to ask you that, Coach.
What do you got, buddy?
Well, Coach, it's the first time this season in the Atlantic 10, or you guys are now in first place, the Atlantic 10. What are the emotions of the guys now after this game, or are they just wanting more, you think?
Well, you know what? They were it's crazy for such a young team. You think they'd be jumping around and all that? They were a little upset at themselves how we played. How about that? All right. I was walking down the hallway, man. I was fired up, and they enjoyed it. They were happy we won, but they were disappointed they didn't play better down the stretch, and you could see that, which is great. And we're going to talk about it. Now we sing after wins, so the guys got into the sing and gave everybody hugs, and that's what we'll continue to do. But it's they're hard. This is a hard group on themselves because they want to compete at a high level, and so we'll just continue. One thing I always say, let's celebrate wins because they're hard to get.
Does that almost make your job easier when these guys just want to continue to want more and are still hard on themselves even after a big win?
Yeah, be hard on yourself with an open mind so you can learn. Don't be hard on yourself where you have excuses and you close your mind. You could be hard. I was really hard on myself. And then, honestly, after my freshman year watching tapes with the coaches, I was hard on myself that I didn't make the right plays, but I loved the process of going through it. That's what we got to continue to teach our guys. Hey, Bones is out in the court right now because he's hard on himself. Good, but have an open mind about the good stuff he did, and we won the game, and can't wait to get to practice tomorrow to get better.